Hmm.
You are live.
And we are live. Awesome. It doesn't show that I'm live here, but I am going to trust that I am live. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to move this around. We are live on Telegram. So for those of you who don't want to be on Facebook or YouTube or anything, you can be on Zoom or at whenyouneedafriend.com. As you know, all of you who just absolutely love Dr. Lorraine Day are probably sitting at the edge of your seat because you think she has a lot of beauty tips today. So fasten your seatbelt. Let me just go ahead and start the record button because I've been known to get too excited and not hit the record button. Here we go. You're in for a treat with Dr. Lorraine Day. Make sure you share, text, tag, tell everybody that we're about to learn and grow together. And what's the best way to open your mind? It's to dance. So fasten your seatbelt. Here we go.
The Lillian McDermott Show.
We love, we fear, bridges we burn, we make mistakes, then we live and learn. When life gets tough, and it seems like your best ain't good enough. If you're in need of hope, you know where I'll be right here, right here. And when you need a friend, you can count on me. I'll be right here, waiting for
you. This is the place you can always turn to when you need a friend. The Lillian McDermott Show. To reach out to Lillian, visit her on the web at whenyouneedafriend.com. Now let's all learn together. Here's Lillian McDermott.
Hello, my listening and viewing friend. It's so nice we can meet each other on the air on this beautiful, best day ever. And for those of you who are tuning into the classroom for the first time, please know I've been waiting for you. This is a safe place where you can go to when you need a friend. It is my commitment to provide natural ways to heal, and it is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life. And I hope you, my listening, as well as my viewing friend, will feel empowered to embrace a new truth and live the life of your dreams. As you know, it's always a fun day when this incredible medical doctor, speaker, author, truth teller, friend, and my favorite eye poker comes into the classroom, because you know that she's going to say something that's going to pierce your heart, and you're going to go, I may not be ready for this, but I am curious enough to learn a little bit more. Or maybe you are ready, because when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And we do always enjoy our once a month Dr. Lorraine Day coming on the classroom, because she is unstoppable. And since there's our sole purpose in life to give and receive love and knowledge, I am so grateful that Dr. Lorraine Day is one of my favorite teachers. Thank you so much that you are here to shower some wisdom upon us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So today we're going to be talking about natural reversal and diminishing of wrinkles. So take it away. How do we do that, Dr. Day?
Well, I'm not going to talk about reversal of wrinkles. I'm going to talk about how to prevent them.
Oh, prevent them.
That's how the most important thing, how to live a wrinkle-free life. That's a very important thing, because people women particularly focus on what they put on the outside. Mm-hmm. And that is a very small portion of what it takes to prevent wrinkles. It's what you put on the inside. And it's not just what you eat. There are many, many things that cause wrinkling, and people don't understand what they're doing that causes wrinkled skin. Dehydration is caused by not just drinking enough water. It's caused by drinking caffeine. Caffeine is a diuretic. It takes more water out of your body than comes in with the drink. And coffee contains over 50 toxins, and toxins cause wrinkling of your skin and aging of your skin. So when you drink caffeinated beverages, whether it's coffee or soda, not only are you drinking caffeine, but you are also drinking fluoride. When you drink beer, it probably contains fluoride. And then, of course, all alcohol is a diuretic. It also takes more water out of your body than comes in with the drink. So, but people don't understand that fluoride is a poison. It is a poison. People get so used to hearing about fluoridated water. This is all a scam. You don't need fluoride, does not prevent cavities. In fact, I'm going to show you a picture of a friend of mine. It's on the back of his book. If you can see it, here it is. And this book is, as you can see, well read. I've had it for over 20 years. And this is Dr. John Yanayamas. And he is dead now, unfortunately, of cancer. But he wrote this book called Fluoride, the Aging Factor. Fluoride, the Aging Factor. He reviewed every test, every series of tests that have ever been done, experiments in the world on fluoride, and shows that fluoride does not prevent cavities. Fluoride is a toxic waste product of aluminum production. And rather than get rid of the waste and paying to get rid of the waste, they said, oh, we'll put it in the water and we'll tell people it prevents cavities. Well, fluoride not only does not prevent cavities, it affects the thyroid gland, and it causes lethargy and fatigue and decreased thyroid activity. So all these people who are on thyroid and they don't know why, the doctor puts them on thyroid because they have low thyroid. One reason is they're drinking fluoridated water in many things, And when you go to a restaurant, your food is mostly cooked in fluoridated water. So even though they add, it used to be between 0.7 and 1.7 milliliters per something. Now they've changed it to 0.7. However, with the water you drink during the day, whether you go to a restaurant or have a soda or whatever you eat or drink, you will be taking in something like 5 milligrams a day instead of 0.7, which is the percentage in the water. So fluoride decreases the migration activity of your white blood cells. Therefore, it affects your immune system. It suppresses your immune system. And the biggest thing that it does as far as your skin is concerned, and not only your skin, when your skin ages, your organs are aging at the same rate. So if you look at a person, they have wrinkled skin, they also have, quote unquote, wrinkled organs, because everything is affected. Your skin is not different from the rest of your body. The same blood goes there, the same the fluid goes there, the same toxins go there, everything goes there. And so it actually causes breakdown of collagen. And collagen is one of the main things in your skin. So fluoride is, again, it's a poison. It causes aging of the bone and cartilage. And did you have a question?
No, once you finish that thought, I do have a question about fluoride. Is there any way that you can, I know there's defluorinators, or there's ways that you can remove the fluoride out of the water, but can you boil it? Is there anything that people can do?
Distill it.
Distilled,
You have to distill it.
Or reverse osmosis, which is what we have.
Both,
Yeah.
Distilling and reverse osmosis.
Mm-hmm.
You do them both. And so this is a very important thing, to make sure that you remove the fluoride, because it is very damaging. Now, most people don't realize that fluoride is one of the main components of general anesthetics. When in the operating room, when we put a person to sleep, the main ones that are used are fluoride based, because guess what? It causes your brain to go to sleep. And so that's what they're also doing in the water, is they're putting your brain to sleep. So people don't recognize that. That's one reason there's an increase in dementia. There's an increase in inability to make good judgments, because they're putting fluoride in the water. And you have it in your toothpaste, and they have it in your mouthwash, and they have it everywhere. because they want to depress your brain from working properly. And so, and in fact, fluoride has many other harmful adverse reactions, because in the operating room, when they first started using, years ago, when they first started using fluoride-based general anesthetics, the patients got very, very sick. And we used to call it fluorobarf. That's what the doctors used to call it, fluorobarf, because the patients were so sick after they got these fluorinated compounds in their general anesthetic, which hadn't been happening before. The other thing is fluoride used to be used supposedly to make, for osteoporosis, to make your bones dense. But what it was doing, the bone density did increase on the densitometer that they tested you with. However, the increase in bone density was not a healthy one. What it did was it made your bones more brittle, and they broke actually faster than if you hadn't had it at all. So they quit using that in most, in the US. They may even use it in other countries still, but it causes brittle bones. And so but you're still drinking it, you see. If you're not taking in medication, you're still drinking it. You got it in your toothpaste, you got it in your mouthwash, and now dentists are even putting it in the filling material. And it used to be that I was a dental hygienist before I was a surgeon, and I put fluoride on children's teeth, not knowing any better. Fortunately, no child died in my dental chair. However, children were dying in the dental chair from just swallowing the amount that was put on their teeth. So now they've changed it to put it in kind of an adhesive form. So they paint it on your teeth, all right? So the children don't die in the dental chair, but that slowly is absorbed by the body. So it doesn't kill them, but they're still being poisoned. Wow. So people do not understand. And dentists all think fluoride, they're all taught that fluoride decreases cavities, but they are wrong. Correct. When this was first introduced, the Dental Association said, no way. This was years ago, no way. But the government put so much pressure on them, and they started propagandizing them. And in fact, in this book, Fluoride, the Aging Factor, my friend John put in some quotes where it says that the Dental Association was told dentists don't need to be educated about the importance of fluoride. They need to be propagandized. You see? So it didn't matter what the scientific literature said. They were propagandized to accept this, and they're told it over and over again. And I actually fell for this myself as a dental hygienist. And even when I was a physician at the beginning, I thought fluoride was good for you, but it is not. It is a poison. It causes, here are some of the side effects of it: a gastric pain, vomiting, GI, gastrointestinal bleeding, anemia, arthritis, and of course, premature aging of the skin, which is what we're talking about today. It can even cause birth defects. Again, it interferes with the immune system. It interferes with the shape of the proteins, and it interferes with the collagen. So it is one of the biggest problems with aging. So don't worry as much about what you put on your face as what you put in your body. So,
so I want to add to that. I want to ask you a question, because when you talked about the vomiting after fluoride and it's in the anesthesia, when I had my explantation, I threw up, and this was not general anesthesia. This was local anesthesia. I did not want to go. I didn't want to be put under. And so is that a way of the body getting rid of this toxin? Do you think?
Well, I don't know that. It may be, if you had a local anesthetic, there's generally no reason for vomiting unless, you were, first of all, it's pretty stressful to have a major procedure like that anyway.
Yeah. It's a 3-hour procedure.
All sorts of things can happen with that, but I don't have any reason to think that you were getting rid of toxins. It's just that you were sick from See, your body, even though you can't feel it because they've given you a local anesthetic, your body knows it's being attacked.
Yeah.
And so when somebody attacks you with a knife, it's a pretty stressful thing. So those kinds of things can happen. But that stress is also very dehydrating. People don't understand that. Stress is very dehydrating. When you are stressed from anything, you trigger your fight or flight reaction, whether you're stressed from lack of forgiveness, anger. By the way, 50% of all heart attacks occur after an episode of anger. If you're angry, if you hold grudges, you have to realize this. You are letting somebody else control how you feel. Don't do that. Don't do that, because you're only hurting yourself. You're not hurting them. You're only hurting yourself. You've got to let it go. That's why the Bible says to love your enemies, do good to those who hate you. Let God says, vengeance is mine. I will repay. God is the only one that can handle this sort of thing. Everybody who has done harm to you will reap what they have sown. They will have to go through personally exactly what they did to you. Okay? They will have to go through it. Let God take care of it. You let it go. Because that also causes aging, because that causes dehydration of your body. What's the difference between a plum and a prune? Water.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a grape and a raisin? Water. And so it is water that you need in your body. Your body is 75% water. Your brain is 85% water. The brain weighs approximately 3 pounds. And if you were able to squeeze all the water out of it, it would only weigh 7 ounces.
Wow.
So that's how much water is in your brain. Every thought you have is transmitted from one neuron to another on waterways. And so when you don't have enough water, you can't remember who you are. We have a president who is suffering from that. Okay, he can't remember things because one of his problems is undoubtedly he is water deficient. People are not drinking enough water, and they are leaching the water from their bodies by the main things are by breathing. Your breath is moist. You'll fog up a mirror. You breathe 24 hours a day. You perspire even when it's not hot, more when it is hot. And when you eat, particularly when you eat animal products, when you eat meat, poultry, and fish, they contain no water and no fiber. And so your body has to take water from your cells to digest that. So you are dehydrating your body when you eat meat, poultry, and fish. See, fruits, grains, and vegetables all contain water. They come with water. So you don't take as much water from your body as you do when you eat meat, poultry, and fish. So all those things are dehydrating to your body. You lose 10 glasses of water every day, even if you don't get out of bed. You have to replace those 10 glasses of water. People say, well, I don't like drinking water. And my answer to you is, how does that make a difference? You're grown up. That's what children say. You just say, I will do it because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
You need self-control. One of the fruits of the Spirit of God is self-control. You do it because it's the right thing to do. People say, well, I like my meat. What difference does that make? It doesn't make any difference. You are grown up. Don't act like you're 3 years old. I want to do what I want to do. And that's why people get sick, because they want to live, think, act, eat, and handle stress their way rather than God's way. And we have to give up our right to ourselves and give it over to God and say, I'm going to do what's right for my body. Remember when we did the Exodus series, there was so much time spent building the temple, and that's right. And God's presence was in the temple. Yes. And it was a holy place. Nobody could go inside the temple except the priests. And when Aaron's sons took strange fire, in other words, fire that was not given by God, and they let the fire go out and they just took regular fire and brought it in, they were struck dead because the temple was holy. All right. So what does Jesus say now? Your body is the temple. Yes. I live in you, and we have to take care of that temple. So it's not just worrying about how our face looks. We have to worry about what we're doing to our organs and how we are prematurely aging ourselves and how we are rejecting God when we don't take care of our body and our mind, because God only can communicate with us through our mind. He puts thoughts into our mind. That's how he speaks to us. It's not an audible voice. He speaks to us by putting thoughts into our mind. And if our mind is gone, we can't hear those thoughts. So it's very important to understand that. So people are constantly worried about aging skin, women are, but they're doing all the wrong things generally for it. People have said to me, now again, I have very few wrinkles. I'm certainly responding to the laws of gravity, but give me a break.
You're honoring the laws of gravity.
Yes, but I don't have a lot of wrinkles, and in 2.5 months I will be 86. I'm only 4 years from 90, and I have very few wrinkles. Mm-hmm. And I get out in the sun a lot. The sun is not what ruins your skin. Now, I don't say go out there and get fried.
Correct.
Because that's not good for you either. Correct. But you need sun. You need sun. Sun turns cholesterol into vitamin D. Sun decreases stress. Sunlight actually decreases the size of internal cancerous tumors. Sunlight is extremely important. So I spend time in the sun. And the other very important thing that I have just learned in the last few months is that you need ultraviolet light. You need ultraviolet light. All the medical people are telling you that it's bad for you. The government is telling you that it's bad for you. Cover up. Don't get that UV light is terrible. No, it isn't. You need UV light. You need UV light coming in through your eyes.
That's right. And there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that know about like the sun gazing, and so that they can get is it photons that they get from the nutrients of the sun? Is that what it is?
Well, the whole point is you get the UV light that goes into your eye, and it goes to your pineal gland, which is in your brain, that makes melatonin. Now, melatonin is only known by the medical profession in general to help sleep. And in fact, they give it in pills, but you can't improve on God. And that's why you want to have it from the sun, not from pills, because they have actually shown that if you take melatonin for too long, it can cause damage to your body if you take it in pills. So you want the UV light to come in. But it's been learned in the last 15 years in medical studies that this UV light that produces the melatonin, it doesn't just affect sleep. It affects 100 systems in your body to prevent disease and reverse disease. Reverse disease. And so this is extremely important. And I recently bought some new books, medical textbooks of endocrinology, to see if this information, which has been available for 15 years, is in the new books of endocrinology taught to doctors, and it is not.
Correct.
It is not, because it is God's natural way of healing, and they don't want any of that.
So I want to add to that, as a lot of people are wearing sunglasses. I want you to understand that she's talking about sunglasses, but
and regular glasses.
You're also talking about regular glasses, contact lenses, so that when you are out in the beach in the morning, or if you're outside in the morning, make sure you don't have your contacts in your eyes, or that you take and pause so that you can experience the light, not the blaring light, but the light that's softer, that you can look at the sun. Or is it just being in the light that you have to be looking at the sun to be specific?
No, you do not want to look at the sun. The sun can be, if you look directly at the sun, that can damage your eyes. You just want to be outside looking at the light, just the light, not the sun. And so the brighter it is, the better. Now, the other interesting thing is some people have photophobia, which means they have a hard time being out in the bright light. Mm-hmm. So you don't want to wear sunglasses, because I have investigated this. I cannot find any sunglasses that are not UV coated. I cannot find any regular glasses that are not UV coated. You can wear sunglasses in your car because they already coat your windshield with ultraviolet light coating to protect you from the sun. So again, you're not going to get it through your windshield. But when you are outside of your car and outside of your house, you don't want to be wearing sunglasses. Now, here's something you can do. If you find that it's too bright for you, you can, when you're out in the light, you can wear pinhole glasses. Now, I've talked about
Do you have
pinhole
them with you?
glasses
Do you have them with you? Because I want to see them. Do you have
I
them?
don't. No, I don't have a pair right here with me. But
Okay.
What you will see, they look. If you would look at me, they would look like regular sunglasses. But if you get up close, you'll see they have holes in them. So the light can still get through the pinholes. So if it's too bright, you can wear those. I wouldn't suggest you wear them for driving because you can't that might be dangerous, and you're not going to get any UV light through your windshield anyway. But when you're out and it's too bright, you can wear pinhole glasses. Pinhole glasses are mainly made to help you improve your eyes and to read better without glasses. But if you have them, you can wear them as sunglasses and still get light in through your eyes. So that's a really great way. You can get pinhole glasses on the internet. Just Google pinhole glasses and you can get them there. They're not real expensive. So it's very important for people to realize they need the sunlight. People go out and they cover up. I see them in hats and all covering up everything. You don't want to do that. Sunlight is one of the most important things. In a new book I have coming out, which maybe we can discuss the next time that I'm on, I show that in the early 1900s, almost all medical schools were, and in fact, half of the medical schools were treating people only by natural methods. This is orthodox medicine, only by natural methods. And the others were using partially that because drugs didn't come in big time until they discovered penicillin, which was in the 1940s. But it turns out that the owner of Standard Oil found out that they could make drugs with petroleum products. So they set about to destroy all natural medicine in the late 1800s, early 1900s. They set about to destroy it. And as I said back when we discussed it before, even the buildings are built differently now. The buildings had wards that came out, individual wards that had cross ventilation and windows that opened and sunlight could come in, and they'd have a solarium at the end of each ward so people could get sunlight. And that's how San Francisco General Hospital was built 100 years ago, where I took my internship. And they even had a pool where they took people out and gave them water therapy. But by the time I got there, the pool had all been cemented over. And so this was the annihilation of natural healing. And it began in the early 1900s and it continues now. And it continues as the National Council Against Health Fraud. And I should show you that this is a book that's written, it's called Health Robbers. I don't suggest you get this and waste your money because it is all lies. It's written by Stephen Barrett, MD.
Oh my gosh, why would you buy a book by him?
Because I wanted to see what they said.
Oh, okay.
And William Jarvis. William Jarvis was a public health doctor at Loma Linda University, which is touted as a Christian medical school. And so, but they are both members of the National Council Against Health Fraud. Well, as you know, like the Patriot Act is not patriot. They name them as a lie, so you'll think it's patriot. Well, this National Council Against Health Fraud, what it is the National Council Against God's Way of Natural Healing. And that persists today. And as I said before, Stephen Barrett, is a psychiatrist, has taken 40 different alternative practitioners to court. He's lost every case. but he has been successful in destroying their reputations as well as destroying their economic status. And so this is still going on today. It has not ended. It is the same cabal that's doing it for the last 100 years. And this book, called Racketeering in Medicine, The Suppression of Alternative Therapies, by Dr. James Carter, who's an MD, he also shows that this has been a concerted effort over the last 100 years to eliminate natural ways of healing. Mm-hmm. You see, if God...
Which one was the second book? Because I'd like to look at that one. What was the second book?
Racketeering in Medicine. Racketeering in Medicine, The Suppression of Alternatives. And it's by James P. Carter, MD.
Is he alive?
I think so, because the book, let me see when the book
and it's
was.
P as in Paul, James P as in Paul?
James P as in Paul Carter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
He wrote it in 1992, so he probably is still alive. But it is an excellent book, and it also shows in that book that you see Dr. Jarvis was from Loma Linda University, again, supposedly Christian medical school, and that this same Loma Linda University gave free rent illegally to the National Council Against Health Fraud. And that's where they actually had some of their meetings, and headquarters was at Loma Linda University, which started out as totally alternative healing. The Loma Linda University Medical School started out as totally natural healing, God's way. So you see, if we needed drug medication to be well, or if we needed drugs in our cosmetics to make us look good, then God would be a bigot, because 3/4 of the population of the world does not have access to modern medicine. So God has given us the way to be well and the way to stay young. By the way, as you know, those of you who have been here before, I reversed my 4th stage cancer, and I did it by all natural methods, no chemo, no radiation, no mastectomy, even though it was breast cancer. And I did it all by natural methods. And those natural methods are anti-aging. All of those natural methods, the sunlight, the fresh air. That's right.
That's a picture of her tumor.
That's my tumor. It was a gigantic tumor. And I am totally well. I've been totally well and cancer-free for almost 30 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
November, the beginning of November was your anniversary.
Right. Yeah. November 1, 1993. So next year it will be 30 years. And I was so sick. I wasn't able to work for 3.5 years. I was 2 years getting worse, trying to figure out how to get well, because all these alternatives they talk about in the books, they don't work. They don't work. Some of them worked 80 years ago when life was less stressful, when people were eating better, when people actually trusted God. They don't work anymore. And so you have to use just what God has given us, not 714X and not shark cartilage and none of that stuff. That stuff doesn't work. That's still man-made. Even though it may be non-toxic, it's still man-made. We have to go with the things that God says. So it's important to realize that everything God has given us to get us well from a disease is also anti-aging. It is anti-aging. So you have to learn to love your enemies. You have to learn to forgive everyone who's ever wronged you. You have to learn how to give up fear and anxiety, and especially the times that we're living in now. People are having all sorts of fears and they're anxious about many things. You have to start trusting the Lord. That's the only way you'll get through it. And that's the only way you'll keep your sanity. And that's the only way you won't age horribly. And so it's very important to realize that the skin of an individual reflects what their internal organs are doing. And when their skin is very wrinkled, their internal organs have also aged. Sleep is also extremely important. And the only way you can get good sleep, by the way, the healing hormones are produced between 10 p.m. and 2 o'clock in the morning. So you can't stay up all night. The difference between going to bed at 9:30 or 10 o'clock and the difference between going to bed at 1 o'clock is very major. And so you want to get those healing hormones. So all of these things are free. Fresh air is free. When you're outside, you're breathing in negative ions, and negative means good in this
Yes.
case.
Mhm.
Indoors, you have positive ions, which are not healthy. Outdoors, you have negative ions. And if you can be near a waterfall, those are the strongest negative ions. So falling water, rapidly falling water produces very healthy ions for you. Now, people say, every once in a while, people say to me, oh, well, if you don't have wrinkles, have you had Botox? Let me tell you about Botox. Botox sounds really cute. It's Botox, like a boutique. Well, it's not cute. The Bo stands for botulinum or botulism, and the tox stands for toxins, poison. This is botulism poison. Now, I would never have any of that injected in my body. First of all, I know it's one of the most poisonous substances on earth. But secondly, my mother almost died of botulism poisoning. When she was 8 years old, uh, uh, she was at Thanksgiving dinner. She was the only child there with all adults. And so she started eating first, as children frequently do before everybody had their food. She took one forkful of peas and she said, these taste kind of funny. Now, it was fortunate that there were other toxins in there because you can't taste botulism. But my grandfather, who was both a physician and a dentist, he immediately realized these were home canned and they hadn't heated them to a high enough degree. And so he realized that they had botulism in it. And he knew the toxicity of botulism. So what he did was he took her immediately, he force fed her mashed potatoes and then forced her to throw up. And she threw up about 10 times. He kept force feeding her and she threw up. But she went into a coma, and she was in a coma for 3 months.
Wow.
And they thought she was going to die, but she didn't die. But when she woke up, she had a very cross eye because, again, it affects the nerves in your body. Fortunately, through exercises, she was able to get that eye back to normal, but she almost died. And when I first heard years ago that they were injecting this into women's faces, I thought, and the side effects, if you read the side effects, they're enormous. And yet people are having that injected into their faces.
Younger and younger and younger and younger and younger and younger. Yeah. It's amazing. I hear people in their 20s are getting Botox, and I'm thinking, why? Even if it wasn't harmful, why? Yeah. And because they're in their 20s, we want to prevent them. So here we are. You're talking about prevention. But before we continue, I want to talk about the website. I want to talk about whenyouneedafriend.com. This is where we all come together. And by the way, we're not having a teacher's pet corner. So I'm going to switch. Once Dr. Day tells me that she's done with all her lists, well, I'll start taking questions. If not, I'll take your questions and then we can figure something out, because we don't have a teacher's pet corner today. So go to whenyouneedafriend.com. Please subscribe while you're there, and check and all my social media, like and follow. Right now we're on Telegram. Go find Telegram and join the Lillian McDermott. I think it's called The Classroom. So go on there and join us. Everybody can join. If you want to, Facebook, YouTube, BitChute, Odyssey, as well as you can watch also the Classroom on my website at whenyouneedafriend.com. While there again, check out my sponsor. Make sure you support them the way they're supporting the Classroom. And go to my Shop Now bag, where you will find in my Shop Now bag the Nutri series, which I'm so proud of, with Dr. Lorraine Day, Nutri series, Book of Revelation, and 100 Lessons for the Exodus. They were started off as 50, but Dr. Day she's an overachiever. So we went from 50 to 100 plus. So check them out. You can get them online. Or you can go and get them in the on DVD, and we can send them to you in the United States. Anywhere in the United States, it's included in the price. But if it's overseas or anything, then we'd have to charge an extra fee for shipping. Go check out all the bands, all the natural products that we have that are bringing health to you. Go to When You Need a Friend of the shop bag. You just scroll down and get that. Also, you can become an enrolled student in the Classroom. As you know, it's become very expensive to do the class. whether it's through because I'm being censored or they're making it harder for the class to be seen. That's why I want you to know that you are part of the 99%. Our algorithms, the algorithms that they're trying to create for the classroom can be superseded by the 99%. So I'm asking you to share to like, because you can't, the algorithms can't overcome that. So please share so that people will know that we're in the classroom, that Dr. Day is in the classroom. So please do your part, or you can donate $1 or $1,000 a month, whatever it is, whether it's your time, your talent, your treasure, a one-time gift or a continuous gift. Everything is appreciated. Today we have Dr. Lorraine Day, and I know many of you have reached out to me because you had heard that her Bible study is no longer in a certain way that was before. But as you know, Dr. Day is like water. She will always find a way out. So she found her way. She is now going to be doing the Bible study at Odyssey. What is your account with Odyssey, Dr. Day?
Well, you have to send your email address to us at rockfordpress@earthlink.net. That's ROCKFORDPRESS, rockfordpress@earthlink.net. And we will send you the link to get on Odyssey. And it's the same, it will be the same link every time. So you can get on.
But I was able to go on there because there's obviously a name to Odyssey as well. Because
that's all we have is the link. That's all we have is the link, because they're not permanent on Odyssey.
Oh, you're not?
No, not permanent on Odyssey. They will be permanent on my website. Okay, so I post them all on my website. We haven't figured out yet how to post these on my website, but there are already 62 or 63 previous Bible studies posted on my website, and we hope they will stay up there. But we're trying to transfer everything into a new venue, so they are going to be more secure and permanently there. But we're in the process of doing that. So the last two are not up there yet. But even this afternoon, I'm going to be talking to somebody about how to get them up there. So, but there are already many there. Plus, I have over 350 Bible studies that are different, that are in text format, that are already on my website at goodnewsaboutgod.com. That's www.goodnewsaboutgod, all one word, goodnewsaboutgod.com. If you just scroll down and you'll see a link that says spiritual truth, and then you go there and you will see the Bible studies there. So you will also see, by the way, if you go to Dr. Day's updates, you will see pictures. Just it's quite near the top on goodnewsaboutgod.com. Dr. Day's updates. Click there, and you will see a picture of me and my twin granddaughters. And then on either side of me, you will see pictures of other prominent people. One is a year younger than I am, and the other is about 10 years younger than I am, who have many more wrinkles than I have. Okay. And I show
that drday.com or Good News About God?
Goodnewsaboutgod.com and Dr. Day's updates. And I show that who you believe in makes a difference in your aging. Who you believe in makes a difference in your aging, whether you believe in God or whether you believe in man. And that makes a big difference in aging, because I have many fewer wrinkles than either of these other two people. And so you will see that. I will not mention.
In Good News About God, I'm looking at it right now. What I do see is the Bible study series, and then the book, and I see that
go down a little bit more, and on the right-hand side is Dr. Day's updates. On the right-hand side, and the latest postings on the left.
Not on my computer.
Down. Yeah.
Oh, this is I'm scrolling a long time. Hold on a second. I might get there in a second. I think I'm going to Kenya right now. Nope, I don't see it on my.
You go ahead. You went too far. Probably you went too far.
The only thing I see, the last pictures I see are of the everything your government tells you.
No. You're way too far. Okay. Go back up to Bible study, and then below Bible study, you'll see two rectangular small things, Dr. Day's interviews and all. And then next, it's about go a little bit farther, and they're rectangular red outline boxes. One on the right hand says Dr. Day's updates.
Nope. Oh, there we go. Okay. That's much further
Go
down.
to
Okay.
Dr. Drew's
I see
update.
it now. So it's like side by side. Yes.
Okay?
Oh, you're so funny. I had not seen that. I've gone into your website. You're so funny. The girls look so beautiful. That's so cute. That's sweet. And you
Yeah.
know, you know that it's so funny. The first time I wished Dr. Day, once we became friends, and I was doing research on her a while ago, and it said that her birthday was in July, and and so it was like February 24th, and someone said, "Hey, it's Dr. Day's birthday today." I said, "No, it's not. It's in July." And I said, "It's in the internet," and I sent it to her, and so then and she said, "Well, okay, well, I texted Dr. Day and I said, Dr. Day, is it your birthday?" She said, "Yep." That's why you can't believe everything you see on the internet. That's just proof right there.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, they say a lot of other things bad about me on the internet too that are not true, but that's the way it goes.
Yeah, that's a great picture with you and the girls. But anyway, so okay,
And
so
that's picture, I think I'm 83 there. Is that right? What, I'm 83 on that picture? It says my age.
I just clicked off of it. I didn't see.
Yeah.
I didn't see
I'm
it.
83 on that picture, and now I'm 85, almost 86.
Yeah.
So again, you can really decrease your aging enormously. I want to say a couple of other things. Drug medications all dehydrate your body, every single one of them. They dehydrate your body and your brain. So you say, well, I have to be on them. Well, God says you don't, but I don't suggest that you stop them abruptly. You have to get off of them slowly as you get your health back. Once you are healthy, you won't need them. So you need to focus on getting your health back, because God says, if you follow my laws, all of his natural health laws, what you eat, how you live, how you treat others, when you sleep and all that, and my commandments, all 10 of them. Most Christians don't even know what they are. And then my decrees, and that also includes giving up anger and grudge holding and forgiving those who have wronged you. I will keep you free from every disease. And what he really says there, he says, I will not put the diseases on you. I will put them on those who hate you. Okay. Now, God doesn't just put them on those who hate. They do it to themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, God wrote the script and we're the actors. So they do it to themselves. My son was visiting another member of our extended family, and he said, everybody is sick. Everybody is sick. People in their 40s and 50s are sick. They have Parkinson's and they have cancer, and everybody's sick. And that's because they don't believe in God. Now, when I say believe in God, oh, well, I believe in God. Well, no, Jesus said, if you love me, keep my commandments. And again, most Christians don't even know what they are, so they can't keep them. And the first commandment is, thou shalt have no other gods before me. So when you go to a doctor for disease rather than going to God, you are rejecting God. You are putting man above God, and you are breaking the first commandment. And people don't understand that. So Jesus says, you can't just think that by saying you believe in God that you get a free pass, and you don't have to pay $200 to get out of prison in some board game. You don't get a free pass. What you have to do is be one with God. You have to do everything the way he wants you. We have to live, think, act, eat, and handle stress God's way rather than our own way. And then I don't even have to, I brought up alcohol, but I also want to bring up smoking. Whatever you smoke, if it's cannabis, or if it's regular tobacco, okay, all of those things are dehydrating to your body. So you don't want to smoke. What happens to a piece of wood when you put it on fire? It burns up and it's certainly dehydrated. And so when you're even near smoke, that can cause dehydration. And certainly if you have it going in and out of your body. So you don't want to do that. And even all of these things are drugs. Alcohol is a drug. Smoking is a drug. Marijuana is a drug. people say, oh, well, marijuana, is good for you and it makes you feel mellow. It's a drug. Not only that, the antidepressants, the SSRI antidepressants like Zoloft and the others, they also contain fluoride.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They also
Wow.
contain fluoride. In fact, is one of their main components. So these things, again, they make you feel better sometimes because you're escaping from life. You have to deal with life. And if you learn to give your problems to the Lord, then you can deal with life.
Yes.
But people want to escape from it, especially the younger people. I know friends of my sons who they're smoking weed every day because they can't deal with life. And all these younger generations, they don't. Many of them don't want to work. They want to escape from their problems, and it's a very detrimental thing. We have to grow up in the Lord. We have to learn to trust God and give our problems to Him, because that's the only way, as I said, we'll survive what's coming. So there is a way to be calm about what's coming. There is a way to not let it overwhelm you, and that is to trust the Lord. But trusting the Lord and living His way is also anti-aging. So that's the good news. So it's more important what you put into your body, not only in food, but in your emotional psyche. It's so important, the way you think, the way you act, the way you live. That all is involved in aging or anti-aging, not just your food and not just what you put on your face. So it's extremely important.
Well, I also want to get, this is great information, Dr. Day. I remember one of my favorite conversations, one of many favorites, was when we did the 5G, and you completely blew us all away. That was great. And I knew, when you said you wanted to talk about the things we weren't going to talk about, and you said that you wanted to talk about how to prevent wrinkles,
how to live a wrinkle-free life,
wrinkle-free life. And so I said, are you talking about water? Are you going to be talking about water? Because I already know how you think. Okay, so I have some questions. I just want to quickly do some questions here. I will only get to them if I think they're pertinent to today's conversation. Rosalinda says, good morning, blessings to you both. Thank you very much. Someone told me that water is dangerous for those receiving kidney dialysis. What is a correct response for this, Dr. Day? Thank you in advance.
Well, the correct response is to get well. You shouldn't be on kidney dialysis. You've done it to yourself. And so you need to get well, and then you can drink water. But you've got to follow all the 10 steps, and all the information on how to reverse your disease is in my starter package, the super starter package, on my website at drday.com, drday.com. You can get well. God wants you well, but you've got to do it His way. If you're on kidney dialysis, you did it to yourself, just like I gave myself cancer. You've got to take responsibility for it and learn how to do it God's way.
Yeah, but what she's asking right now, while the person is in kidney dialysis, can they drink water?
Well, the thing is, I don't know. I've got to have much more information than that about that. What they've got to do is get well, and then they can drink water. Whether they have limitations on their water now, it's because they have kidney failure and they did it to themselves. People don't want to take responsibility. Oh, no, I didn't do it. Yes, they did.
Yeah, I understand. But I'm just saying the question was right now. So
now there's not what you act like you're talking to a doctor who's going to say, oh, well, take this drug and then you can drink water. No, you have to get yourself well.
Yeah. No. I just wanted to make sure we were. So it says, Miss Lillian, will you put a link invite up for Telegram? I cannot find you on there. Okay, just send me, just text me your number. Whoever wants to, if you want to join Telegram, you can't find me, just text me at 407-373-5959. And what I'll do is I'll put you on my phone, and then I'll send you an invitation from Telegram. So I just don't know. I just thought you would be able to find me, or you can try to find me under that number, 407-373-5959. Kim wants to know, said, please tell me what water distilled you use. I have been looking for, but I cannot find one I am comfortable using. God bless you, ladies. Thank you so much, Kim.
I don't know that I have
Distiller?
a couple different water distillers. I've got one that works without electricity that you can just build a fire out of when they shut off our electricity. But I also have one, but there are plenty out there. I don't know when you say I
Well,
can't find one that I like. I don't know what that means.
I have reverse osmosis on my website. If you go to my I think it's my shop now page, go to whenyouneedafriend.com. The one I use is Arkin, and there's some different ones, and there's a percentage off that you can get when you go onto my website. So go to whenyouneedafriend.com, scroll down to my little shop now page, and just check them out. Oh, and that is it for us. And I'm sorry I didn't get to all your questions, but I'll see if I can capture them and send them to Dr. Day. I think we've answered most of them that are pertinent. Dr. Day, you're amazing. Thank you so much for being part of the classroom today. So always so nice to see you. Thank you all for spending time. Food for thought, food for thought. We need to look at our inside, and it will reveal in the outside. And please remember, we'll be right here waiting for you worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. This is Lillian McDermott and Dr. Lorraine Day wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever. Good job. Good job.
The opinions and advice expressed on the Lillian McDermott radio show are intended for the individual callers and guests on the program and are presented to our wider audience solely for general educational purposes. Please act responsibly and consult personally with your own medical, psychological, or nutritional expert before taking any steps to improve your life.
Okay, so I am going to be, so although we don't have a teacher's pet corner, there's just a few questions here. I think we can handle them, Dr. Day, if we do them quickly.
Okay.
That way you don't have extra work to do. Says, how do I go on Dr. Day's website? I tried typing it and never seems to get through. Is it Google, YouTube, need help? So just go to www.goodnewsaboutgod.com, or you can go to drday.com. I think they're both of your websites are connected with each other.
Yes, but you have to know they're doing something to make my websites more difficult to find now. So just keep at it. You'll get to it.
Just text me and I'll send you the link. Just text me at 407-373-5959 and just say, I would like Dr. Day's link, and I'll send it to you. And that way you can just click on it and then you're good. If you have a smartphone. If you don't have a smartphone, then I don't know what to do. Okay. So let's see. How do I go on? Okay, that's that we've already answered that one. I'm just looking at cues. I have an issue with constipation. Help. Water. That's a
well, it's not just water. You got to get rid of the animal products. You've got to get rid, if you're on drug medications, you again don't stop them abruptly. You've got to start getting your body well. All the information on how to be well. See, when you ask a specific question like that, like constipation, you act like you're talking to a doctor who treats you. Oh, well, just take this drug. Constipation is caused from the way you live, think, act, eat, and handle stress. It can be caused from stress, because that's dehydrating. It can be caused from not drinking enough water, from drinking coffee. So there are all sorts of things. So you have done it to yourself. You're doing the constipation. You've got to learn how to do it. People just say, well, just what one book do I need to cure my cancer? Well, that's like saying, just give me one book. I want to be an attorney, and I just need one book to take my bar exam to be an attorney. It's more than that. Yeah, it is. You have to learn how much you've been abusing your body. People have to learn. Well, I don't want to study. I don't want to study. Well, then you're going to be sick.
Yeah.
You're going to be sick if you don't want to study.
Yeah. It's like that song from Meatloaf, I would do anything for love. But this is the thing that he says, but I won't do that. So that people, I want to be healthy, but I won't do that. I want to have a good marriage, but I won't do that. So everybody has their I won't do that. But the question I always ask is, what are you willing to do? Because if you're focusing on what you're not going to do, then you're going to get more of what you don't want. So focus on what you're willing to do so that you can get more of what you want.
But even focus more on what God wants you to do.
Of course, of course. That's my prayer. I want what God wants. I want what God wants. Amen. Okay, so The next question is, I asked my dental hygienist not to use any fluoride during my cleaning. By the way, I go to a biological dentist, and they are fluoride free. They are, so that you know. You can go to doctors that are just let your feet do the walking, let your checkbook do the walking. Let me just finish the question. I asked my dental hygienist not to use fluoride during the cleaning, and her response was, there is also naturally occurring fluoride. What can I respond?
Well, the thing is, but there's not naturally occurring fluoride. That there are some areas of the country and of the world that have fluoride naturally in the water, but they are few and far between. So the thing is, if they don't add anything, they don't put fluoride in anything, including the what they use to clean your teeth. That's all you're asking for. So I think the dental hygienist response was a little bit sarcastic, frankly.
Okay, last question, Dr. Day. What about Tesla glasses?
I don't know
I have
anything
no
about
idea.
Tesla. I don't know what Tesla glasses are, but I would be concerned about anything that came from Tesla.
How
Because,
come?
oh, well, first of all, you know, we've got, I just lost my microphone. We've got the Tesla cars, of course, and now they're going to, in order to make electricity, you have to use gas and oil in order to make electricity. So it's having electric vehicles is not going to work. Now they're going to say there's not enough electricity going around, so you're not going to be able to charge your car. And then who owns Tesla? Elon Musk, who went to Heidi Klum's birthday party dressed as Satan with an upside down cross.
We want to be able to post this on Facebook and YouTube, don't we?
Yeah, but he posted it. He posted it. He's got pictures of himself in a satanic.
No, that's not my point. That's not my point. My point is, I just want to make sure that we can post this on here. I don't want what I want I want to stay focused on the Tesla glasses. We don't know what Tesla glasses are.
Tesla glasses are, but I wouldn't trust Tesla just because they're part of the.
But I'm thinking Nikola Tesla, that he probably had some of those pinhole glasses. I don't know. I don't know.
But Nikola Tesla is where Musk got the name Tesla.
Yes, so, I know, but I think that I'm wondering if you're still watching, I'm wondering, are you talking about Nikola Tesla? Or are you talking about the Tesla as in Tesla today Tesla? So I don't know if they're going to be responding, but it's
I have read a lot about Nikola Tesla. I've never heard of any glasses that Nikola Tesla did. He may have, but I have his book with 400 patents. I don't know if he had any glasses.
Oh, well, I tell you what, I think this has been a great conversation, Dr. Day. I am so grateful to you and all of you for watching. Make sure you share this video. This is a way that you can help grow the classroom. And if you want the links to Dr. Day, or if you want the links to my Telegram, where you can watch from there and not on Facebook, then you can just text me at 407-373-5959. Thank you, Dr. Day, for everything that you do. Absolutely adore you. Thank you, everybody, for watching.